Well, I don't know about you, but I did not see SGblocks to be sitting at this price. But hey, welcome to the stock market. So I just finished going through SGblocks earning report and their conference call. And in this video, I'm going to share my opinions on this earnings call as well as whether or not I think that it is still a buy right now. So I think there are two major reasons why people were upset with the Q3 results. First, the company had $8.8 million in comparison to $11.9 million the previous quarter. And even though this seems drastic, I want to go into detail as to what the differences was between this quarter and last quarter. Their medical revenues was about $1.5 million more than this quarter. And then the other $1.5 million was coming from their construction revenue. I'm glad that we have this medical revenue, but I don't expect this to be a huge part of SGblocks business. My guess is that a lot of people invested in this company because of their construction and development, not because of their medical sector. Now, don't get me wrong, I think they're making significant moves when it comes to their medical vertical. The second reason why I'm sure that a lot of people are frustrated is because of their EPS. I mean, their EPS was a drastic difference in comparison to last quarter. Now, to be honest, I wasn't too happy about this either, but I'm glad that they at least explained where a lot of these expenses were coming from. During their conference call, they explained that a lot of this was coming from their legacy project for Sgbx, and they estimate that these expenses will go away in the first quarter of next year. So even when I was listening to their conference call, I noticed that there were a lot of people that were frustrated about these results. But I think we need to go back to the fundamentals of the company, where they were a year ago, and why we invested in them in the first place. This company in Q3 generated the same amount of revenue as they did in all of the quarters of 2020. So before we look at this company and say it's a disappointing quarter, I don't think it's that bad. In fact, I'm still surprised that their medical revenues are as high as they are. And speaking of revenue, this company generated more revenue in the first 9 months of 2021 than they did from 2017 to 2020 combined. So if we want to talk about growth in a company, I think this is a good place to start. This company is still growing at a rapid pace, and I don't think that the share price reflects that. So I want to go ahead and share a couple of things that they announced on their conference call that I think is something that we could be looking forward to, especially going into this next quarter. During the conference call, they reiterated that they are planning on being cash flow positive in Q4 of this year. That is still really great to see because that means that profitability is right around the corner going into 2022. And even though that this company announced that they only had $3 million in cash, this is not including their net proceeds of $10.5 million from selling shares. And this is going to significantly help them when it comes to their manufacturing capacity. And that leads to the third thing. Paul Gavin, their CEO, said that when all the manufacturing lines are working, they will have 5 times the current output. And each manufacturing line is going to produce $12 to $15 million in annualized revenue. I think we all can do the math there, but that is a significant amount of revenue in 1 year for this company. The other thing that this company talked about in their conference call was the increase in their pipeline. They currently have a $367 million pipeline. This pipeline has increased over $100 million in this quarter alone. Now let's remember that this company has a current market cap at around $25 million. And so even if they executed on half of this pipeline, that would be significant revenue for this company. And they're hoping to execute on this pipeline over the next 4 to 5 years. And the last thing that I want to share is we are starting to see these projects actually come to life. First, they're starting on their ATCO units this quarter. They have plans right now to build 20 units, but there's definitely potential for more in the future. Second, the Monticello Muse project will start getting their units out in December of this year. Thirdly, Paul Gavin talked about how we will hopefully be able to hear something about the Blink charging partnership. And I think with the infrastructure bill coming out, this could be great news for SGblocks. But I really don't believe that this is going to be the main part of their business. So even though there's a lot of people that are frustrated that we haven't heard much about this partnership, it's not going to generate the majority of the revenue for this company. So here are my thoughts on this quarter. Meh. If I'm honest, I didn't care much about this quarter at all. Q3 was not going to be the shocking quarter for any of us. They had great news acquiring a large amount of land and leasing the Waldron site, but that's basically it. Right now, I don't care about any new projects. All I want to see is the execution on these current projects that they have. Clearly, SGblocks is showing that they are preparing for a huge amount of growth in the near future with the expansion of their manufacturing capacity. But we won't see the execution of these projects really until the beginning of next year. Now, with all of that said, I need to talk about share price. Right now, the market is saying that this company is not going to be able to hold up in the next couple of years. And I think that that is silly. As a reminder, this company has more revenue this year than their entire market cap, and the cash that they have on their balance sheet is half of the current market cap. So in my opinion, I'm not worried. I'm going to keep buying the stock if it's under $3, and sooner or later the market is going to respect this stock. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you don't mind, would you consider destroying that like button? That helps this channel immensely, as well as comment down below what your thoughts are on the recent SGblocks earnings report. Would love to hear your thoughts on that. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button down below. That way you are notified when new content comes out. Hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your week, and we'll see you in the next one.